What's going on, lads and lasses? Welcome back to 100% Mags. So we're going to this game this coming Thursday, 7:45 kickoff down at Goodison Park as we take on, of course, Frank Lampard's Toffees in a game that should have been played in December. And as with it being the game that was postponed in December, the game will be broadcasted on Amazon Prime as it was going to be back in December. So if you don't have Amazon Prime, you can get it for a 99 pence fee on a free trial for 1 week. So you will be able to see the game on there if you want to watch it that way, or you can pick it up on one of the dodgy streams online. So there's 3,000 away fans travelling down to Goodison Park for this one. It's a complete sold-out game. All the tickets were already sold from when the game was first scheduled to play back in December. And we're going to this one with the possibility of picking up, for the first time this season, a double PL win. Of course, we're already winning 3-1 against Frank Lampard's men at St James's Park in February this year. This is, of course, our first opportunity to pick up the double PL win over a team this season. Of course, Newcastle going to this game in 14th place. We could have been in 11th place if we had picked up the win against Chelsea, but we all know what happened there. We all know that we got screwed over there by the referees and VAR. And the dodgy situation that went on in that game at Stamford Bridge. We all know what happened, so we're going to this game in at 14th place in the Premier League, 9 points ahead of Everton, who sit at 17th in the Premier League. They have 2 games in hand over ourselves, and of course, one of the games in hand is, of course, ourselves on Thursday. So we do have a chance to put a dampener on Everton's chances of survival in the Premier League this season if we do come away from this game with a positive result in a win. Looking at Everton first, and then we'll talk about our team, Newcastle United. Looking at Everton, they're going to be without Yerry Mina and Fabian Delph, who remain unavailable for the game. John Joe Kenny is suspended as well, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin is a doubtful inclusion in the squad due to illness. That is great news looking at that, because Yerry Mina is a big guy. They're not going to have him at the back to deal with the likes of Chris Wood or Dan Burn, so that is going to be a big positive for us going into this game. Fabian Delph as well, he doesn't really play that much, to be honest, in my opinion, for Everton, but it's still a big improvement for us going into this game. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is a massive one. He's their goal scorer, and without him being in there, they are going to find it hard to get any shots on target in the game. But it does give the possibility of a first game for Solomon Rondon against Newcastle United since his loan spell at St James's back in the 18-19 campaign under Rafa Benitez. The 32-year-old scored once in 14 PL games this season for the Toffees with 8 starts. So, it will give a possibility for Solomon Rondon to meet up again with a couple of the old faces from when he was here in the 18-19 campaign under Rafa Benitez. There's still quite a few players around, obviously. The team hasn't changed much since then. There's still quite a few of the players that were in the team when Solomon Rondon was there. So he does get a chance to meet up with a couple of the old faces, a couple of friends, of course, from when he played for on loan in that season. The Venezuelan scored for United both home and away against Everton as well in that 18-19 campaign. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, Solomon Rondon doesn't have a good game for Everton. Hopefully he doesn't do anything he did when he was with us, because, we don't want that, obviously. Since Anthony Gordon netted the third goal of a 3-0 victory over Leeds United at Goodison Park, Everton had gone 372 minutes without finding the opposition net in the PL. in following on Thursday night's visit, the Toffees are in an FA Cup quarter-final action away at Crystal Palace. That is now confirmed in a Sunday lunchtime slot. So looking at it, Everton's either got the chance to focus on this Premier League game and focus on trying to survive in the Premier League, which at this moment in time is a very, very sticky situation for them, with them very, very close to the relegation zone, or focus on a FA Cup quarter-final game against Crystal Palace and possibly have the chance to make it through to the semi-finals of the FA Cup. Now, that is a pretty tough predicament that Frank Lampard has found himself in there at Goodison Park. And, is he going to be focusing more on that quarter-final FA Cup game, or is he going to be focusing more on trying to get 3 points in the bag, or some sort of positive result out of this game against us? Now, yes, we might have went into this game, we might be going into this game rather, on the back of a defeat to Chelsea, and of course on the back of an unbeaten run that now has ended after 9 games unbeaten. But looking at it, we're still a team to beat this season. We are still a big, big team. That is the first loss of 2022. We've still got some absolutely fantastic form. We've really come on leaps and bounds since Eddie Howe has came in as the manager. You can see it in the players like Joe Linton, of course, who didn't get to play, unfortunately, in the game against Southampton. He didn't get to play in the game against Chelsea neither at Stamford Bridge. Hopefully we'll get to see Joe Linton play in this game on Thursday. I don't know if we will or not, but hopefully, fingers crossed, we do get to see him play. I'd love to see Joe Willock and Joe Linton and Bruno Guimaraes playing in that midfield. That would be absolutely fantastic, just to see what they could do together in a partnership. And of course, that would mean that we would have to see John Joe Shelvey go to the bench. But talking about our team, of course, Callum Wilson and Kieran Trippier remain out. It's quite obvious now that they've been out for quite a while due to injury. But it's expected that Joe Linton will return to the squad after a 2-game absence. So that is good news that, it does look like Joe Linton will be back in to play in this game. I'd absolutely love to see him playing in that midfield, like I say, with Joe Willock and, of course, Bruno Guimaraes as well. The availability of Joe Willock and John Joe Shelvey is uncertain after both missed Sunday's game at Chelsea due to an unspecified illness. So we'll have to see what happens with them. Hopefully, they will be fit in time to, be included in the squad for the game against Everton. But Joe Willock's been shown a bit more of his old self again. Not so much, obviously, in the last game, obviously, because he wasn't in it, or the game at Southampton, but he has been putting in some pretty good performances of late. Even seen himself score some goals as well. So we'll have to see where we go from here. But it's about looking at how the team can move on from that game against Chelsea now. It wasn't that we played bad in it, because we didn't. We played really good in the game. But, when the momentum is going in your favour, when we're on an unbeaten run, of 9 games, there's a momentum there. There's a atmosphere that fills the dressing room, and now that atmosphere is probably going to have took a little bit of a hit, you would think, off of the loss to Chelsea, and especially in the way that we lost as well to Chelsea, because it wasn't a fair defeat, was it? It was a very cheating way and dirty tricks by the referee, VAR and Chelsea combined to take away an unbeaten streak, that we absolutely worked hard to get. And that probably will have a little bit of an effect on the players, especially looking at the way Dan Burn reacted after the goal went in. He reacted like everybody did. It was just such a horrible situation to be in for Dan Burn, horrible situation to be in for us Newcastle United fans as well, having to take a goal being scored by a guy that should have been sent off for, absolutely dirty moves on the pitch. But now with that unbeaten streak gone, it's up to Eddie Howe to now take the team, rebuild them, push them forward. Say that was just a blip, lads, and let's go on. Let's move on, take it on the chin, move on to the next game. And this is the game, where I'd expect Newcastle to go into it all guns blazing, knock Everton for 6, and when I say knock Everton for 6, I'd happily take a 1-0 win in the game and move on. It's 3 points in the bag, gets with 34 points, and, possibly gives us a chance to move up into 11th place, I believe, or maybe even 12th place in the league. So let us know your thoughts anyway down in the comments below. It's going to be a game where I would expect Newcastle to come away from winners, especially after the way we took Everton apart in the game at St James's Park. It was absolutely fantastic. We really took the game to them, and so we should as well when it was on home soil. But we're at Goodison Park here. Hopefully we can do the same as the game against them at ours. And, like I say, I'd happily take a 1-0 win. But let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Any Everton fans that are watching as well, let me know your thoughts as well down in the comments below. I'm absolutely willing to hear what everybody has to say. If you be kind as well in the comments. No disgusting comments made, because they will be ignored, they will be reported, and you will be blocked for making absolutely derogatory comments in my comment section. And that is the way I will be going forward as well, with people that don't have the time to put a nice comment, or don't have the time to have the respect to put in, a respectful comment, instead of coming in my comment section, and talking about Saudi Arabians chopping people's heads off. That has absolutely nothing to do with Newcastle United Football Club. That has nothing to do with Eddie Howe as a manager. I seen Eddie Howe getting a lot of stick off the journalists after the game against Chelsea in the press conference. He was getting bombarded by journalists asking him about what's going on in Saudi Arabia and 81 people being murdered. That's got absolutely nothing to do with a football manager. A football manager is not going to give you the answers on that. You're best off going to somebody like Boris Johnson or another politician. They will give you the answers on that. You're not going to go to a politician like Boris Johnson and ask him how Newcastle United's doing, or how Man United's doing, or how Arsenal or anybody in the footballing world is doing, and how they're going to go into this game and how they're going to do this tactic. You wouldn't, because he's a politician. He's not going to know that stuff. He's not a football manager, and it's the same with Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe's not a politician. Eddie Howe is a football manager. Eddie Howe should only be asked football questions, and the same for any manager as well. They should only be asked football-related questions. It's absolutely out of line to be asking anybody political questions and geopolitical questions when, they do not know the answers to them and don't know how to approach them. And, they're not going to put their job on the line and say something about somebody, and it be completely wrong. They don't want to do that. They're not going to cost their livelihood because somebody can't be asked to go to the right person and ask the right person the questions that they are asking that person. But let us know your thoughts anyway down in the comments below. Rant over. See you all next time. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and how are the lads.